Sure who they pushed out here, but the impulse are flying overhead.
Actually using the door edit and just a little counter edit to make sure that nobody is able to come up and contest them, and it just starts raining shots down towards the Little Whip Warriors. Ravens Revenge making their lives difficult this game, but up comes Ninja. RTA goes down, Chappie goes down, Ninja gets the slam. Gotaga, will he be able to find the last hit? Ninja intelligently backs away and strafes it out. Teammate picks that one up and they get control.
Yeah, I love how he played that stepping and sidestepping so that he can just stay alive, because it doesn't matter if your team successfully wipes a point. If you don't have your captain there to seal the deal for the points afterwards, then you cannot earn anything from it. Here comes Gotaga. He's throwing himself into the fire, straight into the point there, and he gets taken out. Here it is. Tomaya's team has fallen to last place. Can they make a miraculous comeback here before the 7-minute mark? Maybe kind of get themselves in the running. They're trying their hardest.
And I mean, generally we talk about caster curses. It might be like player jinxes going on right now. Everyone's saying, yeah, we're doing well. We're going to stick to our game plan.
That just shows you no one is safe here. These guys are evolving, and they're playing a better game after game. Here goes Scissors. He needs one more swipe there, but Clytax wins the small engagement.
And Clytax has been fragging out. He's been playing so incredibly well, being aggressive, getting in players' faces, and doing it all with that rare tag. But he's been consistently highest up there in terms of the elim. You see Portugal trying to get some pressure down, but good defensive building there from Kororo. Ryan Frantic comes out the side and cleans it up, but there is Hand of Blood coming directly down. Danya is also up there. We got a three-way battle, but it's 4 chickens saying, this is our roost, get out.
That's right, coming right up to own it all for themselves. Rubius doing so good right now. He's from Spain. He actually has a record on, was it YouTube for live streaming? 1.1 million viewers, imagine.
Yes, one of the biggest content creators in Spain. Will they be able to push down towards the middle? As you can see, Little Whip and Llama Record Company already down there. We've seen this story before as the Funky Fresh Fighters go in, but you can barely even hear the shots over the impulse grenades going off as everyone's like, no, we've seen how this goes.
The Funky Fighters need this. The Llama Record Company need this. So many of these guys, it's riding on this game right here. They have to get as many points as possible.
But even with the 12-point one, we haven't seen a lead like this from Gotaga and crew. They are nearly 300 points clear of the next team. Nobody else is contesting there. The Cuddle crew has now been able to catch up a little bit, but they both just established control in their top zones, and Cuddle crew won't pass Ravens Revenge by just sticking with 3 points. They're in a fantastic spot to win this match.
Yeah, they've actually been very consistent as well, right? They've been doing okay in that top 4, just doing a pretty good job at staying relevant after all of these rounds. So if Gotaga's team takes this, we actually don't know who can take this set right now. It's actually that close right here. Little Whip Warriors have kind of fallen down a bit here, but Funky Fighters clearly in last place is not good.
And now, right now, you can see Tomoya coming in, doing everything he can to knock it down. Carnifex challenging as best he can, and Lachlan is just hanging out inside the cone.
Lachlan's doing a great job here. He's just kind of hiding, loving the low profile kind of position and take here on the point. He was hidden, but hey, he has to come out now and defend themselves. It's 3 chickens who surround him and take down that Cuddle Bear. Oh, man.
They're supposed to be the tender defenders, but that was a whole bunch of aggression coming out from them there as they now immediately look and start to take shots. And the Ravens Revenge have now finally been unseated from their 3-point game. So a little bit of room to start for the catch-up, but it is utter chaos in point D as Tomoya gets taken down, and the Funky Fighters are still in 8th place.
There's still 55,000 minimal on this game alone here. You want to win this one. Ravens Revenge, can they hold it? Or will Cuddle Crew find themselves a big piece of the pie here? Because we're in New York City, you know, you got to make pizza references. That's how we're doing it. Here comes Gotaga kind of hopping on overhead. And all right, he wants more points. He's hungry for it.
It's unfortunate they're just clipping off the side as Magma goes down, sitting on 23 eliminations right now. And Gotaga doing his best to find where they want to go up, waiting for his team, but knowing that time is running short since that middle hill is still open and being constantly contested. But the Cuddle Crew are catching up with their steady 3-point game. But now Gotaga goes up right around the back, able to pick up the elim, and control is rested.
This is scary because the Cuddle Crew is also getting points right now. So yes, they're getting a lead, but the Cuddle Crew is keeping it very close. They're keeping it very close.
This is what we were talking about. We wanted to see a strategy come out, something defensive where you can get your control. They have now walled them off on each side, thrown a cone on top of them, and they have firing angles towards the other two platforms and towards the spawns behind them. Nobody wants to go contest them, but right now, Gotaga, oh, we saw what happened when Scissors did that. Don't count your chickens before they hatch because they're catching up right now. You can see that 12 points ticking over, but they do still have a lead as players are trying their best to deny Raven's revenge.
Yes, you have to keep him safe. This is the protect the president strat at its finest. Cuddle Crew still gaining points. Llama Records still getting points. In comes the fire from all the other platforms. Cuddle Crew's putting on pressure. They don't want to give him the freebie here.
You have to look at Raven's revenge, though. Everybody is so focused on the middle. Nobody is going and challenging the top team. You know they're over there. You know they're uncontested right now. You have to be putting shots down there. You have to find the tags under Gotaga.
There it is.
And they got him. They got him. The difference now. Look at the Cuddle Crew climbing up on their consistent three, but they still have control of the top. They just don't have their sword. It's 2 hops to get up there.
That's right, and now Lackland can just sit here. He can just hang out, earn these points. This is what he needs to do, and he's almost there. He is almost there. The first place can be his. Right now, he can take this lead, Sundown.
But they got control at the same time. It's literally ticking over a half-second away from each other. Their shots are going. Cuddle Crew has the lead, though. Will the shot be able to go through? Yes!
Cuddle Crew
He
goes
can take it
through.
down. 999, 1,000. Gotaga and Raven's revenge in the closest nail-biter yet. Edge out the Cuddle Crew in 2 teams who we said we wanted to see more. They brought more.
Are you kidding me? The Fish fam step up and shut it down. Just the fact they stepped on the point, they couldn't earn points and they lost the lead. They were just a tick ahead. That could have been their game.
I mean, it's just, let's
Oh
check out
my.
the replay. You can see the counter in the top right, but the Fish fam going up and challenging on the other side. You can see them hopping up there. No one was at the Ravens' revenge as soon as they were there, and the celebration too. You have to be excited when you see that victory royale screen pop up when you're up there. I mean, what's it like to win a game on that stage? I have no idea. Those guys do, though.
We you know, at some point before the day's over, we really got to recap the other point of a point of view there, because they had it. They were 1 tick ahead. They were there, knocking on the door, 55,000 away from bonus prize on top of this entire competition. It was right there.
And it got taken away, and this is why I love Sky Station Showdown. The clutch little moments, the interactions that happen, very similar to Battle Royale, where every single thing that is happening on the map can affect the overall end result of the game, as you see there in Raven's Revenge, closing it out. Gotaga, the competitive veteran, able to clutch it up in the final moments. Magma, Arthier, and Chappie as well. Just a great performance out of them, taking the top spot in the final match of the first set.
Now I get to say, I was right the whole time. I started off with, Raven's Revenge, kind of making me feel like, hey, these are my guys. Let's go with your gut, guys, all right? Raven's Revenge, that's who I said when I started this whole thing. Told you.
He's not wrong. They were able to take it there, but we're going to throw it up top to an interview with Raven's Revenge with Zeke. Zeke, you there, buddy?
I am here, Sundown. Thank you so much. Fun fact, Monster did in fact say Raven's Revenge would win. I've got your back, Monster. I am here. You guys got your revenge. I gotta ask, first question to you, Gotaga. How does it feel to be here in the stadium, the fans, the roar, and to be facing off against your peers? Was it what you expected?
Honestly, it's crazy, and I have a really strong team. We are learning a lot from our mistakes, and I'm so glad to be here, to be honest. I don't know how to describe it.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy being here. I'm right there with you. All right, so now who's the overall shot caller? Is it Gotaga? Is it you? Who is it?
Kind of all 4 of us. We were playing too afraid at first, so we just had to go in there and just kill them as fast as we could and then spawn trap. That was our goal.
Okay, what's the strategy like? Are you guys, talking through at the beginning? Are you guys waiting for someone else to make a move? Or are you guys like, no, we're going in first?
Yeah, we're trying to, really pressure Ninja's team. We're trying to put pressure on that green point. And yeah, we were able to control it over them. They ended up wussing off over to the center. And yeah, we were able to play our game and play what we wanted.
Awesome. All right, final question. What do you want to say to all the fans that are here watching, cheering you guys on, and from home?
I don't know, it's just incredible. I'm happy that so many people are here. I don't know, just enjoying the show. It's amazing, honestly.
Well, congratulations, guys. Now, I believe for now, we're going to send it over to Golden Boy, who is standing by.
Going on there, and now what we're doing right now, hanging out as they walk back over, just brilliantly done there from RTA, Magma, Chappie, Gotaga. The teamwork from them was just on point. You talked about it, all 4 strong players from Gotaga, and they're happy with the final result, and that puts them immediately into contention because it's cumulative prize point to find out who will take that first Silver Llama and kind of get a leg up for the rest of the creative final.
I actually want to touch on something that, was kind of interesting. He called Ninja's capture point the green point. These guys are like that focused here. He's like, okay, we know who's kind of farming which ones. And they're shutting players down, shutting down their competition so that they can take these sets.
Well, that's the next step, right? As soon as you're immediately in there, and that's the big part for Sky Station that I enjoy, is you have the ability to see where the other opponents are in relation to you for score. So if you want to go and try and make somebody's life difficult, you might not be maximizing your points, but you can effectively help your team the most by just denying the other guys and being like, hey, you don't get to play this. And occasionally, if you put enough pressure on them, maybe they default to rotating the other way. Maybe they go somewhere longer. Maybe they have to wait and only push this forward. All of those are advantages you can get by just putting pressure on another team. And there's so many different layers, and I think when we see the remix for this, it's gonna get even more exciting.
Yeah, don't forget, guys, here and at home, there's a remix version. We have some nice twisted surprise that we will see unfold as the day goes on. That was just our first iteration of this round, and honestly, it was a great set. But that just leaves us with the question, too. The Funky Fighters, they had an amazing opening, right? Second place is great. You get big prize bonus for that. You win game 2, and then you kind of flop game 3. Depending on where they went, their average might have really been anchored down.
Yeah, that ends up being really, really, really harmful. But luckily there, if you're in the 4th to 8th range, there's no additional, I don't want to say penalty, because they're all getting $10,000 for the match in of itself. So there's just no additional gain after that fact. You're still able to stay par. So 4th would have been just as bad, but 8th, you're kind of looking like, oh, that'll really bring down the average. It's not the worst case scenario going on there. So they should still be at least in the running, but you can't be comfortable.
No.
Like, not at all. It's so incredible, and now we are going to go over the stage. We have the results, and your set 1 winner is the Funky Fighters. The last match was not enough. The singular win in the double goes over to them. They will have that first Silver Llama, and there he is throwing it up, and I mean, you gotta be happy for him.
They did it. I thought maybe it wasn't enough, but it was. Love this celebration right here.
You kind of are like, it's a little, I don't want to say like bittersweet there, but it's like, oh, you kind of like get pushed out in the last game, and then boom, you get it. But now the Silver Llama, but they're happy. They realize, and the big thing, that gives them a leg up for the rest of the competition. If they can win the next match, another team has to win both of them. But such a great job from the Funky Fighters, sticking to their guns, staying with the strategy, getting 2 top 2 plays finishes, one of them being a win.
I actually love this right here. They're all getting together, showing team harmony. They're clearly happy. They take the first set. That's amazing. They're off to the right start, really. They can get another 1 or 2 of those, and this entire creative finals is theirs.
Well, and again, we talked with Tamara beforehand, and he was like, yeah, we're really confident when we can get in the races. We want to be on that world run. We know we can do there. We have some really good runners, and then they turn around and do that?
I was just Showdown? I was just going to touch on it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, this wasn't even their strong suit, right? He did a death run at some point as when he recruited his people for this creative challenge. So for him to take what might be one of our, toe-to-toe PvP sessions, that's actually crazy. And here's the team standing, Sundown.
Yeah, look at the final team standing. So Llama Record Code do just get edged out by $1,500 there. The Funky Fighters, you can see on the right-hand side, have been awarded that Silver Llama. Rounding it out, you have Raven's Revenge in the top 3, Cuddle Crew and Little Whip Warriors both at 55, sitting in 4th and 5th. Fish Fam, Sunshine Soldiers, I almost got that one, 6th and 7th, and then 8th there are the Chicken Champions. But this is set 1, of 4. There's still tons of creative games to be going on. I mean, it's been so good. And like we talked about earlier, we have a never-before-seen map and game mode for you guys. Now, I know we released Prop Hunt. It's something that's kind of similar to that. How many of you guys have played Red Light, Green Light at some point in time, right? You've been there, you've done it. I know, whether it might have been a little while ago. Junkyard Juke is a red light, green light prop hunt version where you will have 2 teams sitting up as guards, 6 teams running. It will rotate through every single one of the rounds, and here you can see how to win. You have to dodge those guards, sprint into the center, and incinerate yourself in order to get those points. There are 4 rounds per match, Monster, and how do they score?
Yeah, but also, before we get there, you only get to be guard once, and while you're guard, you do not accumulate points. But yes, the points come in through the props themselves, so when you are on the prop side, you want to choose small, medium, or large objects and try and get it to the incinerator under the guard tower. So it's actually really difficult, and like you said, it's a hybrid. It's a red light, green light / prop hunt style. And this is a pretty tough game mode. We've played a fair amount of it. I got my hands on it. This is actually a lot harder than it kind of sounds.
So it's something that is just completely different. I don't know how many of you guys have played Prop Hunt. Definitely check it out. It's on the Creative Islands. It's a lot of fun, but this brings an additional aspect to it. The guards are able to have the denial. You're able to plan routes out, and you can have strategies, right? So, hey, maybe I want to run all big props the whole time.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
There's tons of different things. Let's check out the format and see what these guys, how they're going to go through, what the map looks like, and really get an idea of how the game is played.
Get ready for more creative Fortnite with the latest competitive creative map, Junkyard Juke. This new game built off the fun of Prop Hunt with a twist. 8 teams will rotate through different roles on the map. 6 teams will transform into props and attempt to make it into the center of the map, while 2 teams of guards try to keep them away. Teams will rotate their roles over the course of 4 rounds, each team getting 1 turn as the guards. Their objective? To defend the incinerator from the other teams, armed only with revolvers and their keen attention to detail. During each round, teams of props will earn points by reaching the incinerator in the central pit. The bigger the prop, the more points. But be careful. Being bigger means you're easier to spot. To keep themselves from getting eliminated, prop teams need to time their movements very carefully. Every few seconds, the guard teams will be blinded for a short time, and the center point turns green, giving the props a chance to run for the hills, or rather, the pit. Once a prop reaches the goal, they respawn at their home base to start over, running as many props as they can before the match ends. If a player is eliminated, they also respawn at their home base and need to start the trek all over again. After 4 rounds, each team's points from their prop rounds will be combined, and the team with the most points wins the game. So keep an eye out for those moving bushes, crates, and gnomes, and enjoy the Junkyard Juke.
Thank you so much, Zeke, for that update. That's Junkyard Juke, something that has never before been seen. It looks kind of a little simple, but it's wacky, it's fun. There's a lot of small little minutia that go into it, things you can min-max on, and also there's just a level of ridiculousness that I enjoy so much. Just seeing somebody turn themselves into a literal dumpster and then try and weave their way past, it's a lot of fun.
Let the memes come to life here as your favorite.
Whoa, you talking about my gameplay again? God, that's so rude.
Turn them into dumpsters, literally. We'll get to see that unfold here as, I gotta say, this is a frustrating game mode. It's very difficult. You guys are gonna see why. It is gonna be tough for some of these guys to bring in those big point objects, and that's just gonna be the name of it. Who can score the most here?
Who can score, and how well are you playing defense? How well do you coordinate? Who is watching the right angles? And it's going to be interesting to see. Do they switch up their strategy from game 1 to game 2? Because there's so many different things you can do. But we are about to have the world premiere of Junkyard Juke. We are getting into set number 2. The Funky Fighters have 1 silver llama. Who will get the second? We now are in to set 2, match 1, and right away, you can see Chappa, Gotaga, Magma, and RTA of Raven's Revenge, and then the Little Whip Warriors, Ninja, Taco, Taldak, and FaZe Kaz taking their shots off. Now, fun fact, the screens are there. You can't see, but you can shoot through them. So don't be afraid to take some shots. I mean, we know the trick shotters will.
Yeah, some people are already shooting. They figured that part out. But it looks like Chappie hasn't quite yet. He's kind of looking. He's just blind shooting. Oh, there it is. Now he's firing through. He's noticed, hey, these are not ricocheting off of this curtain here. I can fire right on through. So you want to stop him. You want to force stop him. You want to also kind of memorize the map and the lanes.
And right away, you can see as soon as the blinds go down, people go. But the first points are starting to come through as Lachlan is able to get in. Hand of Blood's team, the Llama Record Co. also able to get a 10-pointer and then a 5-pointer, following it directly behind. Oh no, it was another 10-pointer. So we already see some of the props having successful runs.
Look at him go. There it is. You saw a big old truck kind of sneak on by, and these objects are slipping right underneath. But who knows how long that'll last. Here's scissors. You gotta park it. You gotta stay still. Oh, can he blend in?
And one other thing you can note there, the props will clip through other objects that are there. So if you see something that isn't sitting perfectly naturally like Scissors was, right there, clipped into it, boom, got him brilliantly done. Lachlan hits one of those bounce pads that are stuck in there. They will launch you up in the air, but great run coming out from X-Sandy into Moya, utilizing the air conditioners to find their way to the end. Benzor and Alex JJ desperately trying to get in. Alex JJ with another 10-point prop, and Hand of Blood gets picked up just before. That would have been a huge swing, but right now, Sunshine Soldiers in first place with 35 points.
They are finding their rhythm here. Sunshine Soldiers taking the lead right now. This is a hard game mode to break free in because you got to think about it. These guards are not playing around. They are shooters, right, at heart. And at the end of the day, if something looks off, something looks odd, like this white vent right here, you're just going to get popped. So you got to be careful here. And there it is. Nice job of, kind of hitting the brakes here. And, oh, he hits one of those trap doors. Let's talk about that, Sundown.
So you can actually see it. There is the little tiny springs. They launch you upward. There's a couple that can be chained into each other. But if you are one of those bigger objects and you get sent up, you are just quite literally sometimes flying garbage.
Yeah. But, it would be too easy if we didn't lay traps around, right? So, got to kind of spice it up for the people that are turned into props, too.
So you can also, actually, the people who can turn into props, there's one pathway where you can chain two of them together. So if you can get there, you almost land directly in front of it. So as long as you time it correctly, you can use them slightly to your advantage, but most of the time they're a little bit more annoying. And boom, you can see that rusted truck going in. And now the Funky Fighters pulling out another lead, 60 points so far.
And this is something important to note, guys. You have to get it into the incinerator, fully processed before the timer counts down, or else your point will not be processed.
Which is a big thing on the min-maxing. What we mean by that is maximizing your efficiency. So if you were to get the most points possible, you run only 10 points the entire time, not only because they're worth more, but they take less time to sort because they're the first one that goes through. The two-point props are able to run, I don't want to say relatively easier, but much easier compared to a dumpster and a card, particularly because you have cover. With that being said, take about an extra 3 to 4 seconds to sort, so it makes it that much less efficient, plus being only 20% of the point value.
That's right, so Clytax there has chosen a big object. Achin and Zond over here, smaller objects. They're kind of blending right into all of the dumpster trash, clearly harder to track down and kind of, I guess, how do I say this? Sort out, right?
Yeah.
Amongst all the clutter here.
Exactly. You want things that don't stick out, or you want to find a path for an object that you can take all the time. So you notice how there's a section where there's like 4 or 5 rusted cars. Grab a rusted car and go park yourself with those, because yes, the guy knows, oh, there's a bunch of rusted cars there. Screen goes back up. Oh, there's still a bunch of rusted cars there. I'm good. Next thing you know, the prop walks his way up. You can also, as you're running, lock rotation. So if you hit your crouch button, whatever you had that bound to, whether you're playing on controller, iPad, PC, all of them end up completely stopping, so it will send you totally naturally, just like what you would see.
And this is also those moments, right, when you're in the guard, oh, someone spotted there, popped him. Tomoya, nice job seeing something out of the ordinary, but notice he gets an elimination on the object. You don't earn points for that, so it's just your job to stop everyone from getting any kind of points, so don't break away with the lead. When you're in the guard tower, you can't allow other people to score, and you're not scoring.
Which can end up being very interesting if the team in the lead, which generally happens because you have 3 chances to score, is shooting last round. right? Because then it's all about how good are your pressure. And one other thing you can see, starting to fire through the screens, very well done for them, picking up an elim there. But right now, Kadoku already wresting the lead away. All three of them sitting there at 60, but they're 5-point processes, and it goes through as 2 more dumpsters throw themselves into the fray.
Yeah, and that's because the Funky Fighters cannot earn points here in the guard round. The Sunshine Soldiers using this opportunity once again to just break away even closer to taking lead. And the Chicken Champions can't earn anything either.
I love that from Clytex. Right away, hides himself behind the box, and you see his hands. He's like, please, please, make sure it's not there. And then, boom, gets the point, gets a nice little selfie going in. And you can see all of them getting sorted there. Another way, I'm all about the min-maxing. Point your camera towards the end. You go just a little bit faster.
Sundown pulling out the strats here. The question is, can our competitors figure it out fast enough with their limited amount of games here? But 20 seconds on the clock. Can he get this in time? Remember, you gotta grab the dumpster, drop the dumpster, and get it processed. That was perfect.
That was so good by Stuart000 because he dodged the little springboard there. You saw him look at it and be like, oh, no, I'm good. And that was the last run. None of these props are going to be able to get sorted. Lachlan gets picked out at the end. You can see 3, 2, 1, but not going to be enough. You need to get all the way through and sorted on the point as the rest of the denial comes through, and we're going to rotate the guards up again.
Yes, so we will have some new guards take their place. This is honestly Chicken Champions' opportunity to start scoring some points and hopefully close up the gap here. The Sunshine Soldiers are now at the bottom layer of the guard tower, and the Fish Fam are at the top. So it is time to kind of mix it up.
My eyes are on the Funky Fighters right now. They are
doing great.
They're very close, and on top of that, they're the team with the Silver Llama.
Yep.
As we've talked about, they are so incredibly close, doing everything they can to push towards the top. And you can see they got a lot of elims too in the round where they were playing defense. So not a ton of scoring going past them, only 35 points off the pace. But what I'm shocked about right now is there is nobody running 2-point props at all. 0.
Tamori is a genius. He was already spotted out for the statue. He kind of hit over to the side and said, you know what, I kind of got to wait here. I can't park this statue on the open. He's going to be hunting for me. And that's exactly what he does. Kind of sits it over on the side there. And that's how he earns himself another point. So they're actually playing very, very smart here. And that's why they've been doing so good at these competitions.
I think the guards need to be slightly more aggressive. There's is unlimited ammunition. You can't run out.
Oh.
If you think something is suspicious, or if you just want to take a shot at it, shoot your shot.
Yeah.
What's the worst case that happens? You miss. There's no accuracy stats going on there. If something looks suspicious, don't let it through. You're the guards, and you want to deny as much as possible. And again, every match is for $55,000 for the winning team. You want that, and that will lead into the Llamas as well. You don't want to end up in that 4th to 8th spot. You want to push past your competitors as we see a whole mess of air conditioners going in, though the water heaters in. It was fantastic for Raven's Revenge, and Llama Record Co. are also climbing their way up the leaderboard, 110 points so far.
Great job for the Llama Record Company. Alex, JJ, Carnifex, Venos, and Hand of Blood. This team is doing great right here as they seemingly inch their way to the top somehow, overtaking the Cuddle Crew, which, by the way, Lachlan's team has been showing up here. It's good to see them, catch a little bit of domination here in this junkyard juke.
Well, like we said, the creative finals is all about celebrating the different types of creative skills. There's different ways to express that. We have the world run where it's there. We saw Sky Station Showdown, which shows up building in team tactics. And right now, Prop Hunt is all about min-maxing efficiency, working together, and hitting your shots.
Yeah, absolutely, because when you're in that guard tower, you don't have opportunity to miss. You let them score, they're going to break free and break away with the lead. Here's a look at Svenos here, who's that bullseye, just kind of blending right in.
The archery target, there's a lot of them out there, but you need to be careful because they're slightly harder. And come on.
Uh-oh.
Really?
He's floating up
Really?
there.
You can see kind of like the look on his face. He's like, there's no way this works. And one other thing to talk about is orientation of your prop. So you notice he actually swapped his camera and pointed in the other direction.
Oh.
Unfortunately, was clipping into the trash bag there. But if you're running forward, your prop faces backwards. So you need to run and then turn, settle yourself. That's the best way. Or you orient yourself around the stuff that's near you. Because if you're facing in a totally random direction, that'll earn a bullet in most circumstances.
I love how aggressive they were at the final moments. The clock was
You gotta
ticking.
go.
Yeah, the clock was ticking. They're like, you know what? We got to get in here. But that was round 3 of 4 for this first game right here. And, you know, it's kind of going either which way. So if you've already had your shot at the guard tower, you're safe. You're good. You can keep getting points. But if this is your last opportunity, if you're in a guard tower, that's all the points you got. That's it. They have to hold strong.
So this is where it really comes into mind who is running, who is in the tower, and what does the scoreboard look like. So right now we can see right away Llama Record Co. is up there, and I believe it's with, I didn't see who that other team was. When we pan back over, we'll call that out. But Llama Record Co. is in first right now, and I think Cuddle Crew is with them as well. So it's typical that the top two would be up there, and it is. The top two teams are in the guard tower. So right now, everyone needs to unseat them, otherwise they will take this first match of set 2.
I'll be honest with you, it's a pretty big lead. That's a substantial lead. Whoever is left in the game, the Sunshine Soldiers, the Funky Fighters, the Chicken Champions, you got to bring these big items through and do it successfully with the limited time left in this round right here, because if not, it's going to be hard to catch up to that 150.
We're starting to see a little bit more consistency right there. And look at Svenos shooting. He's just shooting everything. He's not worried in terms of going through there. Does hit one elim, fires the shots off, going through, trying to look at just anything that he thinks doesn't look normal. Anything that maybe not have been there before.
It's like one of my favorite things, watching him just shoot the boxes like, what's that? Was that there? Was that there? Was that there? Was that there? He's just taking his shots. That's exactly what you got to do here if you want to hold this lead here. And that's why they're dominating. You can see the no hesitation really coming out of them, and that's why they have the lead right now. And it's great. It's great that they're hitting his shots. It's great that Svenos is holding it down.
But the Funky Fighters, we talked about it, eyes on them, already up to 120. One more 10-point prop will put them past. And unfortunately for Ninja there, does get hit on the springboard, but gets in anyway, so just a little bit of time loss. And great shot from Lachlan. My lord, I barely even saw that.
Four Turtle from Australia hit a springboard, and Lachlan shut that down. His fellow Australian brother right there. Very nicely done. You don't want to hit those springboards, man.
And now you can see 125 from the Funky Fighters. They're doing everything they can to overtake. They want this match victory. They want to keep the momentum rolling, but the Cuddle Group is doing a great job of picking up targets and running their timeout, getting some both right as they get out of spawn and before they're about to score, which the waste of time is even that much more efficient, but unfortunately not finding anything there.
Yeah, Lachlan is really not timing his kind of rotations and reloads properly. Notice he's not also utilizing the shooting through the curtain factor there. He's kind of holding himself back. That's why you saw him with a couple elims right there. But you got to put that pressure down, lock down these lanes so that they don't just get like free rotations through, right?
And again, we talked about it a little bit. I'm very surprised nobody is just consistently running 2-point props. You can get them in close to every run if you pick the right path and you take the covered angles. It's very difficult to stop them, particularly with the smaller hitbox. But so far, we've only seen 2 scored.
Yeah, and I like that. Cuddle Crew right there, 130 points. This is their time. Cuddle Crew still doing really good defense right here. Oh no, but you know, Cass's curse. I feel so bad. Chicken Champion comes up out of nowhere, takes that one right away.
Able to get him there, and now the Funky Fighters 5 points out. Anything going in will be enough, and the time ticks over. They didn't get it in there. Oh! Did they get it in there? They might have got the 5-point right at the end, but no, wasn't enough. Llama Record Co. on the defense says, lock it up. We good. Brilliantly done from them. And that's what I'm talking about. When you're sitting there on defense, you know exactly how long you need to keep them out. Exactly what you need to do in order to take the victory. And no surprise there, the guys who are all about that apocalypse game mode during the creative trials, able to take home the very first match ever on Junkyard Juke.
That was well played. Valiant effort for everyone that participated in that run right there. And it was a close one. 150 points to the contender having 145. Just 1 point. One small radiator.
And this is what I'm talking about, where if you had one person who is running just 2-point props there and got their successful runs at the end, they would have it. That's 3 successful runs. That takes about a minute, and you could have collected it.
So go ahead.
Nobody opted into it.
Maybe some of these guys need a little help here. Let's redo this. What would you suggest here, Sundown?
I don't want to say suggest, but I had an opportunity to play a decent amount of it. I'm a big fan of kind of adjusting based off of the scoreline. So if you're seeing you're able to consistently keep running 2-point props, get the guaranteed points. If somebody's playing really good defense and you're not getting 10-point props in, you need to pivot away from that strategy, because getting any points at all is better than none, and particularly if you waste a run on a dumpster where the entire time you're going and then you're stopping and you're going and then you're stopping. Eventually, even if you get all the way to the end, sometimes it's not enough, right? And then you've wasted that 35, 45 seconds, 3 rotations to get just there, whereas you could have grabbed the burger, grabbed the bucket, and ran the entire time, weaved around, trying to like catch a good area, as we saw with the statue, able to hide around a corner. So would love to see in the next match a little bit more, I don't want to say like determination going into it, but be a little bit more deliberate.
That's right, but let's go ahead and hear from some of the deliberate actions over with Zeke, down with our winners.
What's up, guys? I'm hanging out with the Llama Record Company. They take away the prop hunt 5-point lead. You guys locked it up at the very end. Hannibal, I'm going to start with you. And one person I want to call out specifically is this man right here, Svenos. Very tall, tallest man on the planet. It feels like this guy's a very good pick for your team. And I want to know why him, and then also why you picked these other two.
Yeah, I mean, I picked all those guys because this game mode is all about skill. There are no random things in it. You need good aim, you need decision making for sure. And Svenos, I mean, he's like a Spandau. He really likes Spandau. That's kind of the best city in the world. And that's why I picked him first, for example.
Okay, now Svenos, I'm going to put you on blast for a second because we've known each other quite a while. You know, I'd like to believe that your creativity is what allowed you to win. Let's think back to the time where you wore an entire green outfit and you danced and had a galaxy over yourself. Do you feel like that galaxy and that kind of creativity helped you get this dub?
I don't know what you're talking about, mate.
I think people at home that watched, you guys probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go over this way now. What did you think about that game? Was it what you expected? Was it different? Did it catch off guard? Were you ready to just jump into it?
It's enjoyable. Once you get the hang of it, it gets a lot easier. You just got to work out who's good at aiming, which team's on the tower, and after that, you're good.
All right, final question. Do you think you have what it takes? Are you gonna, is the Llama Record Company going to be the team? You think someone else is standing in your way, or is it all you guys?
I think it's going to be all us, yes.
There you go, man. A few words, that's all they need. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Best of luck going forward. Back to you guys on the desk.
Thank you so much, Zeke. Another brilliant performance there coming out of the Llama Record Company. We talked about their versatility. We talked about how quickly they pick up competitive matches. But this is what happened in the first set, right? They were there. They were confident. They're like, yeah, once you get it, it's easy. And then all the other teams immediately caught up. So it'll be very interesting to see if that same story from set 1 is what's happening in set 2.
Yep, that's right. Alex up there said it best. You know, he had the confidence. He felt good in those final moments. Hey, you know, once you figure out who's aiming, maybe just avoid him.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody is hitting all their shots, you need to take a different route. You can't go and continuously challenge them because, again, we talked about that. If you waste all the time to run through and the guy hits a lucky, or I don't want to say lucky,